Hey friends, Sonia here with Ellie and Mac. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I am Sonia, and today we are going to be using some of our cut files to put vinyl onto curved surfaces. This time of year, I love vinyling everything, giving custom gifts to everybody, and curved surfaces is just one of those things that is a little bit trickier when it comes to vinyl. So we're going to go through a few of the tips and tricks that I use to get good results on your curved surfaces. The first project we're going to look at is a mug, and the other one is an ornament, which is just a little bit trickier because you have curves going both directions, whereas a mug you only have curves going horizontally. So those are the two projects that we're going to be doing. I am using our Believe cut file. Sorry, I'm getting a light glare. So I've got that one on our mug here. This is just a really cute black mug that I found from Target. And then this one is our Christmas gift cut file, and I just used the word Christmas and the presents out of it, and I'll show you how I kind of rearranged this to get that. These are really fun, and this is definitely not as intimidating as you think, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is slice Believe out of the white parts of the hat, or in this case, gray parts of the hat. So we can move the top layer over. And the reason I want to do this is I don't want the word to be partially on top of the cloud and then kind of falling off, and that'll create a little gap between the vinyl and the cup where you have multiple layers there. So I duplicate that because we have two hat pieces that we need to slice out of. Now, you can see that all those pieces are sliced apart. What I'm going to do is select both of the black pieces again and reattach them because we do want our shadow still. We'll get that out of the way, and then that bottom piece that was sliced out is now going to fit perfectly with that shadow. So the reason that we duplicated this is that we need to cut the E out of that little hat top. So we do the same thing, and you can just delete all of these extra pieces. And then you have a new little hat piece that's going to fit everything, and you can just delete all your extras there. Move that around, and what I like to do is just zoom in really close and make sure that everything is aligned perfectly. I'm going to bring that Believe back to the front so I can lay this out and make sure everything's where it's supposed to be, and that it all fits together nicely. Now I'm going to select everything together so that it stays proportionate, and I'm going to resize to 3 inches across, which works for my ornament. Measure whatever ornament you are using and cut it out. So when you're working with curved surfaces, I feel like it's a lot easier to layer all of your pieces on the transfer paper first before you apply it to your curved surface. Because when you apply something to a curve that is not necessarily meant to be a curve, it can distort. So at least this way your image goes on all together and you don't end up with any gaps or anything. Now I'm using glitter vinyl. It is a little bit hard to get it to stick to that transfer paper, so I'm just kind of fiddling with it there. Then I lay that on top of the shadow, and then both of those pieces I line up in that cloud space that we sliced out just a minute ago. And I really want to make sure that these are lined up perfectly and that that fits in there so that it lays nice and flat on my mug. Now I've got a little bubble we'll iron out there, and then we are just going to add those last couple of pieces, which is the ball on the Santa hat and our Santa hat itself. So that's what that looks like as all one piece. Now we're going to go ahead and put it on top of our mug. You will always want to clean your surface with rubbing alcohol first, and that is so that you can pull any of the oils from your hands or anything that might be on there, and so it doesn't make your vinyl lift later. It'll give it the best adhesion. So the trick to applying vinyl is to apply it evenly in the center vertically where there is no curve, and then push out towards the side. That way I find that the design doesn't get distorted or tilted or anything like that, and you have a nice even application. And then for removing your transfer tape, once that is burnished down really well, and I just use my fingers because I don't want to damage the vinyl, I like to peel it back and then actually push it against the surface and roll it back And sorry, that's a little off camera, but what I find is keeping it flat like this actually encourages the vinyl to stay down, whereas if you pull up on your transfer paper, you can pull up on your vinyl too. Now I'm using the rounded edge of my weeding tool to iron out that little bubble there, and we have a nice even application. You definitely want to make sure to give this 24 to 48 hours before you use it, and don't ever put these in the dishwasher unless you're going to epoxy over the top of your vinyl, because the heat will cause your vinyl to come off. So you always want to hand wash these projects. Now for our ornament, I went ahead and uploaded the design I need, and I'm going to delete everything I'm not using. And because Christmas gift is welded together in this design, we are again going to use that slice tool. So I just created a square. I'm going to overlap gift, and that will slice gift away from Christmas. So you select everything and click slice. Now you can delete all of those pieces and you're left with just Christmas. Now you can arrange this. I kind of like to play with it to see how I might like to lay it out. And then I know that my presents are going to be a different color than Christmas. So what I'm going to do is just go up to Color Sync and drag those presents into the green, so at least that way they all cut a different color. Next thing, I'm going to resize it down to fit my ornament. And then I'm going to add 2020, just using a Cricut font to kind of customize this. I like to have at least one handmade ornament every year, so I like to add the date, and I'm going to play around with a few different fonts here to see what looks best. And I ended up using the Cricut font Birthday Cakes and cutting that out. And I really love words for round ornaments, especially just because they are a lot easier to apply. If you had a big solid surface like the Santa hat in the one before, it's very, very hard to get that applied without bubbling over a curved surface. So words work really, really well. So I'm going to do the same as I did before and apply this loosely where I want it, pushing down just in the center, and then I'm using my nail to go horizontally to make sure that that horizontal line stays put, and that's going to be my guide for the rest of the letters. So once that horizontal axis is nice and secure, you can use your finger to rub the rest of the letters up and down, and then use that same flat pull method to pull the rest of your transfer tape off. Now you can see I did forget to clean my ornament, so my vinyl is wanting to lift a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and reuse this transfer paper. I always do this. It is not always the stickiest, but then that way I don't have a bunch of pieces that I'm cutting, so I like to reuse it. And it also helps save on your transfer paper. Every little bit helps. Now again, you're going to want to press in the center, and then I ended up, because we are tilting down, pulling those corners down just a little bit so it kind of curved with the word Christmas. You can see the bubbles in the transfer tape there, and that is fine because obviously we're working on a curved surface, but you just want to make sure you don't have any bubbles in your actual letters. And I'm reusing that same piece of transfer tape to go ahead and add my little gift pieces on there. I really am loving how this kind of turned out, but I did change the layout just a little bit. And that is how that looks. This is super, super cute, very festive, and you just want to make sure that all of those little bits and pieces are pushed down so they don't lift. All right, thank you so much for joining me today, friends. I loved showing you these projects. These are going to make really, really cute gifts. This one is going to my mom, and I am going to fill it up with some chocolates. I did get into the chocolates already, so hopefully there's some left by Christmas to give to her. But yeah, I'm gonna fill this with some chocolates and maybe some hot cocoa packets, and just a cute little things. It's a nice little stocking stuffer. These are really, really fun to make. So hope you guys enjoyed that video, and leave me a comment in the comments below about what you are making for Christmas. I really love to read your comments, and it helps our channel so much to have those comments on our videos. So if you're not subscribed and commented, please do that. We really appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season, and we will see you in our next video.